dear friends, it's been quite a long time since I last recorded some video in English. Actually, okay, not so long. A few weeks ago I had to video even with some guests from abroad. But okay, I mean, being alone, there has been quite a long time. But okay, here we are in the Eastern Serbia. Eastern Serbia could be called hidden jewel. Hidden because it's not so easily accessible. This is one of the main roads to connect the main Serbian highway, Belgrade-Niš, to Eastern Serbia. There are a few more roads. One is between Paraćin and Zaječar, and pretty much these are the bigger, the biggest roads to connect. Problem is that most of the Eastern Serbia is quite a hilly area, even in some regions mountainous, but essentially hilly, and it was obviously not so easy to cut the road through. So as you can see, this is practically a normal road, although there are plans having recently been announced to build a so-called, not really a highway, but speed road, so to say, probably with 2 lanes in each direction, but without probably the so-called stop lane or the service lane, whatever it's been called. Now we will be entering an interesting flatland called Stig. It's called the Stig, like in the Top Gear show, but really it's called the Stig, which is one of the practically very rare flatlands in Eastern Serbia. But this one particularly is suitable for crops, corn, wheat, whatever else, sunflower, soybean. As you can see, corn from both sides, but then here something has already been harvested, and then something else which I do not recognize, and then again some corn. And now from this moment on, you will be able to see practically the entire, because it goes quite some way to the right, but it's always interesting scenery when we are now going slightly downhill from this slight hill, and now entering practically the flat area. It's not completely flat like Vojvodina. There are kind of quite a mild waves, but it's still very, very suitable for the agriculture equipment and mechanization. So it's easy to cultivate. I'm deliberately not driving too fast in order for you to be able to see and enjoy. Also to the left there is a quite a piece of land, flat, practically going almost all the way to Danube, which is a few kilometers here to the left. But again, see, this is a rare site for Eastern Serbia. As I said, it's quite a hilly region, and more or less the only flat area in Eastern Serbia of this size, of course. This road goes all the way to Đerdap Gorge, to the famous Golubac city, the ancient, so to say, medieval city of Golubac with its famous fortress overlooking Danube, just at the very entrance of the gorge. The place which Germans call the Eisentor, or the Golden Gate, not golden, sorry, the Iron Gate. It's also called like that in several other languages, but it's quite a magnificent because the Danube is the widest, exactly at the entry point to the Đerdap Gorge. It's also a national park, Đerdap. Okay, maybe the only wider section of Danube is the very delta, the confluence of delta into the Black Sea. But let's say, ignoring the very confluence, that's the point where the Danube is the widest in its entire flow, practically several kilometers wide. And then in the very gorge, it reduces in some places down to 100 or 2 meters. So from several kilometers to just 100 or 200 meters. That's why the Đerdap Gorge is so magnificent. I mean, with such a big river being practically, how to say, imprisoned with these steep cliffs. The river managed to cut through the stone and eventually go to the Black Sea. Some million years ago, this area, and especially the Vojvodina region, used to be the sea, the so-called Pannonian Sea. But then at some point of time, the Danube managed to cut its way through, and the whole sea went to the Black Sea. So now this is a Pannonian flatland. Okay, my dear friends, that much for now. Bye and see you soon.